smooth and time, yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very 51st episode of
Roche is better than Iorveth.
My name is Nifu, and with me today I am joined by...
Iorveth is better than Roche.
Roche is better than Iorveth.
Iorveth is better than Roche.
Roche is better than Iorveth.
If Zam and Mark haven't already hinted enough, we decided to go in a little bit in depth into the big Witcher 2 dilemma of whether to side with Iorveth or Roche, and kind of in honor of Hearts of Stone being released this past week. So, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys.
We are fired up about this.
Is racist, a terrorist, and all-around broody jerk.
And Roche is objectively terrible at his job.
No, Roche is dedicated to his job, even though sometimes he knows that it's the wrong thing to do.
Roche is dedicated to his job, but he's an idiot. And the game would have been over if he didn't exist. If he had died after springing us from prison. If he had died after springing you from prison in the game...
The game would have been over really early if Roche didn't exist.
Then the game
Carol would have been in prison forever.
A lot sooner. Alright? Here's my... Here, piece of evidence 1. Okay? Roche is terrible. He's just awful.
What did he do?
Well, for one thing, he's a paranoid maniac who distrusts everyone, doesn't get along with people, and causes you problems.
Iorveth hates humans!
Yes, so I know where he stands. I can depend on Iorveth. I know he's an elf, and he hates humans, and he's a freedom fighter / terrorist, whatever you want to call it. But you know what? We can have a begrudging respect, because he's good at all those things. And he's not an idiot.
Roche isn't an idiot. I just don't remember much of The Witcher 2 because it's been so long since I played it.
Actual real evidence number 1. All right. The spoilers are fully in effect here for the beginning part of the game. You're hunting down the Kingslayer dude who's big and ugly and smart and frightening, you know, and you enlist, at least I think, you know what, with a game like The Witcher 2, I don't know if you have to do anything. I enlisted Iorveth's help where he pretended to be captured by me in order for me to prove to him that the bad guy's the bad guy. I hope that made sense. Did that make sense, Sam?
Barely to me, and I played the game.
Yeah.
This part I played twice.
So, no, he's like, hey, dude, that assassin you've been helping out is a bad guy. And Iorveth's like, no. And then you're like, dude, I'll show you, pretend to be, like, captured and junk. And you know what? Iorveth goes along with it. Because he's like, maybe he is a bad guy. And when Iorveth finds out...
To be fair, though, I don't remember what happens with Roche in this part. So I don't know if this is something that you do just with Iorveth, or if you could do it with Iorveth or Roche.
Well, I was doing it this way. And I don't know the answer to that either. But here's the thing, right? We confront the assassin, what's his name, right? And I tell him, look, I've got Iorveth captured, let's betray him or something. And he says something that makes Iorveth realize that he's a bad guy. And then Iorveth's like, all right, my hidden elf friends, let's murder this dude. Together, you know, with the Witcher. Uh-huh. And we're all ready to murder him. And you know what happens? Roche barges in and kills the elves, allowing the assassin to escape. Because Roche is an idiot who looks at elves and thinks, must murder because they're bad.
To be fair, the elves have been killing people in that town. Innocent people.
To be
and
more
he was there
fair,
on a job.
To be more fair, quite recently, the innocent townsfolk murdered all the elves they could get their hands on. And Flotsam is objectively terrible. It's a stinking waste of a town.
It is. And the humans are bad to the elves. That's fine. However, that does not make Iorveth a good person.
No, I don't. And here's the thing. I don't think Iorveth's a good person. But who do I want by my side? The bumbling guy who just barges in and ruins my chances? Or the elf who's a terrible person but is really good at his job?
So your choices are somebody who is a bad person who might be efficient, or somebody who believes in something and is trying to do the best with a bad situation.
To be fair, you could describe both Roche and Iorveth as either a bad person or as someone who believes in something.
I don't think Roche is a bad person.
I don't know if he's a good person necessarily.
Well, no one in The Witcher is a good person.
Exactly. There, my point is made.
But Iorveth is a bad person.
Yes, but with Iorveth, you know what you're getting. You know where he stands.
But knowing where someone stands does not make it a good choice.
Meanwhile, I go into this flotsam town, and it's like, all right, the mayor seems weird, but whatever. And what is the first thing Roche tells me? Well, not the first thing, but pretty much the first thing he tells me. He's like, hey, look, they have a ballista. That's like their only defense against ships. Sabotage it. And I'm like, seriously? And he's like, also, I'm gonna go yell at people and make people not like me. And why don't you try to sneak into the mayor's house? And I'm like, the mayor invited me. Won't that make... Okay. Why are we doing this, Roche? Though, to be fair, sabotaging the ballista really helped when I, escaped on a boat with a bunch of elf terrorists. We judge people by their actions, right? Well, Roche is a black ops murder assassin dude.
And Iorveth is a terrorist.
Yeah, but at least he's open about it.
Roche?
Iorveth is somebody who has been discriminated against, not to be the racial minority here, but Iorveth has seen his people be discriminated against for a long time. He's bitter. He's sick of it. I'm not saying he's handling things in the best way possible, but when you've been stepped on and squished for as long as they've been stepped on and squished, you're not gonna just sit around idly and say, hey, yo, man, I'm sorry. I don't like that you're beating me up and discriminating against my people. I'm gonna yell in your face now.
Preach it.
Well, you know what? Yes, maybe...
Elf lives matter!
But Roche has a job, and he does the best he can with that job. And you know what? He's got a pretty sucky job, but he will bend those rules when he thinks it's the right thing to do. And when he's in Flotsam, he's trying to protect people.
Yeah, I get it. Roche, I'm not saying Roche is not helpful. At times he does, make the entire game happen by breaking you out of prison. And that was nice of him. But he's very, even like, you keep saying Iorveth's a terrorist. Well, yeah, I'm sure that's what Roche would say. But I think it's a bit more subtle, and Roche is not subtle. No, he's just like, don't trust that one-eyed elf, because he's
Cedric
bad.
himself, the elf guy, Cedric, flat out says Iorveth's a terrorist. Iorveth kills innocent townsfolk to make a point, and it's not the right point. Whereas Roche kills soldiers.
I will admit, his methods, not very admirable, but I think he does have a good point. He wants to help create a nation where elves and men can live together equally. And if you talk to Iorveth, you're like, what, you want to make an elf nation for elves? And he's like, no, there's this princess lady up in the mountains who's going to start a new country where everyone's equal. And I want to do that. And then you go do that. Exhibit B. The next part of the game. Now, I admit that's actually as far as I've played, but I've been told that if you pick Roche, you're on the other side of the conflict that comes next. Is that correct?
I don't know. It's really been a long time since I've played The Witcher 2.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is correct.
Because on one side you got like the princess. She's kind of like a Joan of Arc figure, really.
Oh, yes.
And she's facing off against Evil McEvilface, the evil guy.
He's not evil.
Okay, I don't know if this happens if you pick Roche, but he tried to... He got so mad that he accidentally activated an undead thing and then ran away because he's evil.
accidentally did something so he's evil?
Listen, they were having parlay, and suddenly he gets mad and starts attacking them in the middle of parlay. Bad form. And then
I don't remember this at all. This is a really bad argument because only one of us has recently played this part.
well,
Point is, Roche is awesome. Iorveth sucks. He fights with a bow like a girl.
Iorveth fights with a bow and a sword, and he's pretty awesome at both
Roche
of
fights
them.
with a mace like a man.
Oh, Mace face. He wears a towel on his head, and he looks silly.
His hat is kind of silly.
Well,
I'll give you
Iorveth
that.
has an awesome eye patch.
Iorveth looks like an anime character. And, like, in a game that takes everything, all of the fantasy and all of the art so seriously, I never liked Iorveth for that. Because, yeah, Iorveth looks cool. He looks way cooler than Roche. But Roche looks like he actually belongs in the Middle Ages, whereas Iorveth looks like he belongs in an anime.
Well, he is an elf. And elves were not
Yes.
actually in the Middle Ages.
Yes, elf. That is a pointy-eared human. That's really all they are.
They also live longer, and they have a beautiful culture.
Their culture is gone. I
Listen,
know.
listen,
You
my
have sex
point-
on the ruins of one of their cultures.
My point is that Roche is a nice guy, and he helped us out when we were in a tough spot. But the whole time I was with him doing things, I kind of felt like I had to keep him on a short leash or he was going to do something terrible to ruin everything. And then you know what happened? He ruined everything and let the assassin get away. So I was like, you know what? Iorveth, I know where you stand. And you're smart enough to know what needs to be done and what doesn't not need to be done.
He must not have been that good because Iorveth's not in The Witcher 3 and Roche is a fairly supporting character. And Roche shows more of his like specifics, his honor and stuff in 3.
His honor?
Where he's well, and like that's the thing is like he does things that like on the surface are very like
Stupid.
they don't
Idiotic.
They don't look like
Pointless.
smart things, but he does them
because they
it's what
aren't.
He does them because it's what he believes in. It's what he believes is right.
He's not stupid. He just does things that don't look like they're smart from the outside. So, do you have a
Anyway.
tie-breaking vote, Nifu? What's your opinion on the?
He chose freaking Iorveth. It's not a tie-breaking vote.
That's proving he's the best.
He will. A little thing about Nifu, he will always choose the guy that looks like an anime character.
Well, you've actually played the whole game with Iorveth.
I have played almost the whole game with Iorveth and the whole game with Roche.
So, does he ever betray us, Nifu?
Iorveth?
Yeah.
Not that I remember. Sorry, it's been
Loyal as the day is long, Iorveth is.
Well, yeah, but Roche doesn't either.
Well, of course he wasn't going to. He's an idiot, but you're human. He broke you out of prison, you know.
Roche is honorable. Iorveth is a terrorist.
He has his own particular brand of honor that requires that he murders people. Thank you very much.
Just
No, and that's-
you can
I-
say everyone has their own specific thing of honor. It doesn't mean that it actually means anything.
No, I'm definitely with Mark on this. I mean, obviously.
Here's the point, though. With the way that the game works, and like this is just like the honest like mechanics and everything of it, they're both designed to where when it comes down to it, it's your opinion, and when you see them and when you meet them and interact with them, you'll notice different things, and then as you further those story arcs, the other person looks worse, and then your person looks better. That's just the way it works.
That's true. When you were, did you spend much time talking to Iorveth, or were you just kind of like, he's a terrorist?
I don't remember because I played through almost the entire game with Iorveth the first time, and then I replayed and I restarted and did it with Roche. So I do get my playthroughs mixed up.
Well, the terrible thing about the Witcher game is you never know if anyone else had the same experience as you.
Yeah, it's very true. The Witcher 3 is even worse / better about that because I mean, it's just it's massive. It's ridiculously massive. It makes 2 look like just a drop in a bucket.
Oh, I need to get through 2, but I don't know how. I got to chapter 2, and chapter 1 was like, woof. That was a lot of stuff right there. I killed a tentacle monster, and
You're already a good deal through the game. Just keep plucking away.
Really?
There's only 3 chapters in the game.
Yeah, and the second chapter, I believe, is the longest. The last chapter is pretty short. It's only a couple hours.
Yeah, chapter 3 is really short, and you don't have to fight the main bad guy, which is so weird.
Huh. Okay.
But I mean, that's a choice that you can make once you get to that point.
Hey, when you first find the assassin guy in the elf ruins and you have a fight with him,
Letho?
can you beat him at all?
Well, no. Once you get him down to a certain amount of health or whatever, he just wins.
Okay.
I know, because I cornered him and then just wailed on him until that happened.
Because I thought I was doing a good job, and then he beat me. But now I feel better. Because I thought I was doing a good job.
There are some.
No, yeah, I had him stun locked in a corner where he couldn't move.
So to be honest, I'm playing on one of the easy modes because I am not good at the combat.
No shame, man. No shame.
I'm just...
I tend to play those games for story stuff, but I actually did play The Witcher 3 on a higher difficulty level than I would have normally, and especially near the end of the game when you're facing off with some of the bosses, I so wanted to swap the difficulty down. It's 1 a.m. I've been working on this boss battle for an hour already. I just want to go to bed so I can wake up the next day and play some more, but I stuck with it. It was really satisfying.
My problem is to play on the higher difficulties. You really have to get into the potion making and making
I
sure
didn't
you
play
have
it on a
top
super
tier
high
armor and
potion.
weapons
See,
and crap.
that's it. I don't even know what's going on with that stuff. I'm I keep collecting ingredients and bits of things, and I don't.
I never really touched it.
I just want to hit guys with my sword. I don't even use spells all that much.
Yeah.
Whack.
See, I don't really touch it that much, and it's just I play them on easy just to enjoy because the combat's good. It's just
one of my problems
at least in 3
is I have
it's really similar to 2.
I play on my laptop, and I have such a small screen in comparison to many things that everything is tiny, and I've tried every resolution, and nothing changes the fact that everything is tiny. All the buttons are tiny, all the tooltips are tiny, and I'm come on.
Is there a UI adjustment setting?
There might be, but I don't know. All I know is it was
That's what it would be.
Let's try making a potion as I lean in close to my screen and squint. What does this do? What does this do?
Do you guys not have a TV?
We do have a TV. I haven't.
How old of a TV
I could
is it?
hook it up to the TV. That is something I can do.
But then there's The Witcher 3 The Witcher 2 broadcast on a TV, and then the boobs.
But the cat, he'll be scandalized.
Oh, I forgot you guys moved.
Yeah, no, we moved. It's just us now, so that's not actually a problem. Though I have to admit, this isn't a topic we can all cover, but I imagine it must be hard to be a up-to-date gamer and also to have kids.
Yes.
Where it's
not that I would know. I just
none of us would know, but it's
that would make sense.
You couldn't do something like that. It's Daddy, what are you playing? Something else now. How about No Moria? It's got little gnomes.
And I've actually been thinking about that too, about TV shows. It's how do you watch your weekly Game of Thrones and have your Game of Thrones parties with young children? How do you do that?
Well, you just gotta...
All the little shitlins running around.
You find one of the parents that's in the group that doesn't care about the show, and you give him to them.
Babysit. That's why people are babysat. Do you actually have Game of Thrones parties?
I try to.
Oh.
I have me and one other guy.
I don't know anybody up here.
For me, but
I don't make friends. I have enough friends.
I might see if I can get a couple more people.
Or you can just come down here.
I got my hands full
with
with you two. My wife's inviting people over for Halloween. We're gonna play board games. I love board games, but I hate new people.
We're gonna do like a little haunted house thing.
Ooh, you're turning your house into a haunted house?
Well, more a haunted garage.
I hate haunted houses. One of my greatest pleasures of being at the point in my life I am in right now is that no one can make me go on a haunted house until I have kids. When I was a kid, sometimes I had to go in a haunted house. When I have kids, they might want to go in haunted houses and I'll have to join them. But for now, no one can make me. I hate haunted houses. My wife hates haunted houses. That's the end of the matter.
I've not really been to any haunted houses.
Really?
I don't think.
I went to a haunted fire station once.
There was that
I
haunted...
went to one once when I was young.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say place names on the podcast, but there was that haunted barn out where they raised buffalo in the past. Near a town we were all associated with. Yeah, I had to go to that dang haunted barn. I utilized my favorite tactic. I was with a friend and my friend's older sister, and we made her go first.
Okay. So I went to a haunted corn maze, and it was fine. It was cool and all, except for I was with this family friend of ours that the moment somebody, would go, boo, ah, whatever, jump out in the scare, she would threaten them with a lawsuit if they touched her.
What?
Yes.
One of those type of people.
So we're going through this haunted maze, and she's like, I will sue you, do not touch me. It's like, I thought you're defeating the point. You don't go to a haunted corn maze and threaten lawsuits.
That's actively destroying the environment.
It's like when I was at Disney World for my honeymoon, and we went on this one really dark ride, and people were just like, taking pictures with their flash. It's like, screw you, dude.
It's like, if I go into a haunted thing because I've been forced somehow, I would at least contribute to the atmosphere by screaming like a little girl at the slightest provocation. But threatening lawsuits just brings the real world into it, and it's like, oh, that's right. It's not actually a ghost, it's a man in a costume that you could theoretically sue if he touched you. That's right, this is just corn.
Immersion breaking, man. But yeah, at the haunted fire station, I was like super young. And they had this display set up of this guy that like chopped off his arm, and I was so disturbed because the guy was like, help me, and I'm like, I can't. What do you want me to do?
Your arm's cut off. Not a miracle worker.
I mean, this is a fire station. I'm sure there's paramedics somewhere. My dad, who's standing next to me right now, is one.
Will you help him, Dad? Son, I'm disappointed in you. This is all fake. I actually do not know your dad well at all. So I don't know if he would say something like that.
I know your dad. He has a mustache.
And with that mustachio note, we've come to the end of episode 51
the very
of
fartiest
Cool Town.
episode.
And we have figured out that Iorveth is objectively the best choice.
2 out of 3.
He's objectively the best choice if you can't choose Roche.
If you agree, comment, share, subscribe. If you disagree, get your priorities in order. And comment. And explain why you're wrong. At length.
We'll be here next week with a hopefully better episode.
Welcome to the hopefully better episode of Cool Down Timer.
Today was just a rough day, so yeah, we do hope that we didn't destroy your interest in this show with our distractible conversation today.
More awesome conversations coming at you next week. We're going to talk about something really cool, and you're going to love it.
Or you might hate it. Either way, we don't care. We'll see you next week.
No, stop it. You guys over-explain. This is why we don't have a TV show.
I don't think this is the reason we don't have a TV show.
I'm saying it is, and that's now the reason. It's canon.
I wish we had enough people or things to make that we would have a canon.
Stop being depressed!
Cool Down Timer, yeah.